You've been taught to fight for your victory, but what if you were born to simply claim it? The greatest secret they never told you isn't about how to win the battle. It's about realizing that in the only world that matters, your inner world, the victory is already yours. You have been pushing a boulder uphill, trying to change the shadows on the wall, but the power was never in the shadow. It was always in the one casting it. I am. In the next few minutes, you will not learn a new strategy for the fight. You will be reminded of the power that ends the fight altogether. The power of divine assumption. Stay with me, because you are not here to become a winner. You are here to remember that you already are. There is a power within you, a silent partner in your becoming. It has no opinions, no judgments. It only accepts. This is your subconscious mind, the fertile soil where the seeds of your reality are planted. It doesn't argue with you. It simply receives the impression you give it. Your every feeling, every deeply held conviction. It takes them as divine command. This is the great secret. Your dominant assumption, the feeling you carry of yourself, is the blueprint it works from, tirelessly, in the shadows. It is the womb of creation, and you are the one who chooses what is born from it. This operant power doesn't question whether you are worthy or if your desire is possible. It only asks, what are you assuming to be true now? Because that is what it will build. That is the world it will project for you to experience. You are already using this power every moment of every day. The only question is, are you using it consciously? Oh yes, consciousness is the key. So you must act, not in the world of shadows, not in the external chaos, but in your inner world. Act as if you have already won. Act as if the desire is a present fact. This is not pretending. This is a command. It is a conscious selection of a reality you wish to experience. When you walk, breathe, and feel from the state of the wish fulfilled, you are giving your subconscious the only language it understands. The language of feeling. It doesn't recognize your words of lack or your pleas for a future success. It only responds to the feeling of I am. I am successful. I am wealthy. I am secure. This assumption, held with conviction, becomes the new instruction. Your inner world reorganizes itself around this powerful truth. You are no longer hoping. You are being. This is the key. You are impressing upon that formless power a new self-concept, a new identity, and that power has no choice but to objectify it in your world. It must. It is law. And then watch what happens. This isn't magic in the way you've been taught. This is the natural unfolding of law. Your inner programming begins its work of alignment. Your intuition sharpens. Suddenly you hear the right name. You see the opportunity that was invisible before. It's not that it wasn't there. It's that your consciousness wasn't tuned to its frequency. Your posture changes. Your voice carries a new authority. Why? Because you are no longer seeking validation from the outside world. You are operating from the inner certainty of your own success. This is not arrogance. This is the quiet confidence of knowing. People feel this. Resources are drawn to this. The universe rearranges itself to accommodate your assumption. You begin to attract the very people, the very circumstances, the very resources you need, not because you are chasing them, but because you have become the magnet to which they belong. You already are that which you seek. Let this sink in. Your subconscious mind is the ultimate servant, but you must be the master. It does not differentiate between an experience lived in the flesh and an experience lived vividly in your imagination. For it, the feeling is the reality. It takes your most intense, repeated imaginings and treats them as memories. This is why daydreaming without purpose is dangerous, and why conscious, disciplined imagination is the workshop of God. When you feel the thrill of victory, the relief of accomplishment, the security of abundance in your imagination, you are creating a memory of a future event. You are providing the subconscious with a finished picture, a destination. Its job is not to question the journey, but to build the bridge of incidents that leads you directly to that destination. It will move heaven and earth to make your inner world a tangible, visible fact. This is your divine inheritance, the operant power sleeping within your own wonderful human imagination. You hold this incredible power, this silent, creative force. It is always at work, always creating based on the instructions you provide through your state of being. But a power without direction is chaos. A ship without a rudder is at the mercy of every wave. You can feel successful, but successful at what? You can assume abundance, but what does that look like? The subconscious requires a target, a crystal clear image to build upon. Simply understanding this power is the first step, the unlocking of the door. But that's only the surface. Now we must give this power its divine orders. We must give it a destination so clear, so precise, that it has no choice but to manifest it. This is where the real work begins. This is where vague desire transforms into unstoppable creative force. That vague desire, it is the cry of your potential, trapped in mist. It is energy without form, power without a target. Most souls drift through existence on the currents of, I wish and someday. They hope for more. They dream of better. But their subconscious mind, that immense and loyal power, receives no clear command. It receives a blurry, out-of-focus image, and so it produces a blurry, out-of-focus life. Hope is not a plan. A wish is not a selection. You have awakened to the operant power within you, but now you must become its master architect. You must define with absolute, unwavering clarity the reality you command into existence. This is not a suggestion. It is a fundamental requirement of the law. You cannot hit a target you cannot see. The first step out of the fog of mediocrity is to define your destination with piercing, crystalline precision. What exactly do I am? And I don't mean a casual preference. I mean a definite major purpose that becomes the sun around which your entire inner world orbits. If it is wealth, you do not say, I want to be rich. You declare the exact sum of money, so precise you can feel its weight in your hands. You set a definite date for its acquisition, not as a deadline to be feared, but as a rendezvous with destiny. You write down, in vivid sensory detail, exactly what you intend to give in return for this fortune. The universe demands exchange. It abhors a vacuum. But go deeper. Describe your perfect day in this new state. What do you see when you open your eyes? What does the air smell like? How does your body feel? Moving with the freedom of accomplishment. This is not just a goal. It is a fully realized state of being that you are choosing to enter. You are building a detailed memory of the future, a reality so complete that your subconscious accepts it as a present fact. Here's what changes everything. When your purpose is this well-defined, something miraculous happens to your energy. It ceases to be scattered. The diffuse light of a casual hope is focused into a laser beam of intention. This is what Napoleon Hill called a burning desire. This clarity transforms your mental energy into a potent, creative fire that burns through doubt, melts away procrastination, and vaporizes obstacles. Obstacles do not vanish. They are rendered irrelevant by the sheer force of your focused consciousness. Your subconscious, now armed with a perfect blueprint, begins to work with relentless efficiency. Every thought, every action, every choice becomes aligned with this central aim. You are no longer pushed by circumstance. You are pulled by the gravity of your magnificent, well-defined vision. It becomes the organizing principle of your entire existence, your true north. Your definite purpose is not something you are chasing. It is a declaration of who you have decided to be. It is your new assumption, your new I am. When you say, I will have this amount by this date, what you are truly declaring is, I am the consciousness, the state, to which this reality belongs. This shift in identity is the most profound secret of all. You stop seeing your goal as a distant island and begin to live from that island, here and now. Your decisions change. The way you speak changes. You begin to act as the person who has already achieved the goal, not because you are faking it, but because you have accepted it as your true self in the inner world of your imagination. The external world is merely a delayed mirror, and it has no choice but to reflect the new man, the new woman you have become on the inside. You are not acquiring. You are simply allowing your outer world to catch up to your inner reality. You have forged your purpose. You have focused your energy into a burning desire. You have assumed the state of your wish fulfilled. You are now a finely tuned instrument, vibrating at the frequency of your victory. But this new state is a sacred garden, and the moment it is planted, the weeds of your old habits, the pests of doubt and fear, and the storms of external opinion will try to reclaim the ground. A clear purpose is a powerful beginning, but it is not enough. This newfound clarity, this sacred inner world you are building, must be fiercely protected. It requires a fortress. It demands discipline. Now go deeper. You must learn to fortify your mind, to stand guard at the gate of your thoughts, because this is where the victory is either sustained or lost. This mental fortress is not a prison. It is a sanctuary, and the guard at its gate is called self-discipline. Do not mistake this for punishment or restriction. Oh no. Self-discipline is one of the highest forms of self-love. It is an act of fierce loyalty to the future self you have already become in imagination. It is the sacred vow you make to protect the fragile seed of your new reality from the harsh winds of your former conditioning. Every moment, you are faced with a choice. Feed the new assumption of victory, or slide back into the comfortable misery of the old state. Discipline is simply the conscious moment-by-moment selection of your desired reality. It is saying no to the fleeting temptation of doubt so you can say yes to the eternal truth of your power. It's the ultimate declaration that your inner world is more real than the shadows outside. Your future depends on it. So you must establish your power rituals. These are not chores. They are ceremonies of remembrance. Every morning before the world has a chance to impose its reality upon you, you will take out your well-defined purpose. You will read it aloud. You will let the words vibrate through your entire being. Then for 5-10 minutes, you will close your eyes and enter your victory. You will visualize it with an intensity that makes it more real than the room you are in. Feel the fabric of the clothes you wear in that new life. Hear the congratulations of a loved one. Feel the deep, unshakable peace of accomplishment. This is not idle daydreaming. This is a conscious act of creation. You are rehearsing the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You are charging your subconscious mind with the emotional frequency of your success, making it the dominant vibration within your consciousness for the rest of the day. This daily ritual is non-negotiable. It is your anchor in the reality you are selecting. But this ritual fortification is only half the battle. You cannot spend 10 minutes building a temple in your mind and then spend the next 10 hours allowing the world to tear it down. This requires a rigorous mental diet. You must become ruthless in what you allow to enter your consciousness. You are the gatekeeper. You must cut off the constant drip of pessimistic news that is designed to keep you in a state of fear and powerlessness. You must lovingly but firmly distance yourself from the chronic complainers, the doubters, the realists who live in a world of limitation and want you to live there too. Their reality is not your reality unless you consent to it. Every conversation, every piece of content, every thought must be put to a simple test. Does this nourish the feeling of my wish fulfilled? Or does it poison it? Be relentless in your selection. You already are a winner. Stop entertaining thoughts that belong to a loser. This is an act of starvation. You are starving the old man, the old woman of the mental food they thrived on. Worry, doubt, envy, and fear. As you starve that old identity, it withers and dies. Simultaneously, you must feast. Feast on the stories of triumph. Feast on the words of those who understood this law. Immerse your imagination in biographies of great leaders, thinkers, and creators. Listen to music that elevates your spirit and makes you feel invincible. Fill your inner world with evidence that what you desire is not only possible, but natural. You are curating the atmosphere of your mind. Your mind is a garden and thoughts are seeds. You cannot plant a seed of success and then water it with doubt and expect a harvest of abundance. You must tend to your garden with the unwavering focus of a master. Your feeling state is the only reality. Protect it. You have fortified your mind. You have established your rituals and embraced a strict mental diet. Your inner world is now a high-frequency broadcast of your victory. Your assumption is becoming solid, unshakable. This inner work is the cause, the foundation, the 90% of the battle. But this immense disciplined energy cannot remain contained. It must express itself. It must move into the world, not with frantic effort, but with divine purpose. This inner certainty changes the very nature of action itself. But that's only the surface. You see, this power, when properly directed, not only animates your own actions, but also attracts other powers to it. You are not meant to achieve greatness alone. Here's what changes everything about how you bring your vision to life. Action is the bridge between your inner world and its physical expression. But there are two kinds of action. There is the frantic, reactive pushing of the man who believes he must make something happen. This action is born of fear, from a state of lack. It is exhausting and inefficient. Then there is inspired action. This is the action of the one who knows it is already done. It doesn't push, it flows. It doesn't force, it allows. Because you have done the real work in your imagination, because you are living from the state of the wish fulfilled, your actions become calm, precise, and devastatingly effective. You don't take 100 steps hoping one will land. Your intuition, sharpened by your inner certainty, guides you to the one correct step. You move with the quiet confidence of a king inspecting a kingdom that is already his. This is the difference between struggle and creation. When you act from a place of victory, the entire nature of work transforms. It is no longer a toil or a burden. It becomes a joyous unfolding. Each task, each conversation, each decision is simply another opportunity to express the reality you have already accepted within. You are not trying to get there. You are simply being there, in action. This removes all anxiety from the process. You are not worried about the outcome because you have already lived the outcome in your imagination. This calm certainty is a magnetic force. People feel it. They are drawn to your poise, your unwavering focus. Opportunities don't just appear. They are compelled to appear. drawn into the powerful vacuum created by your unshakable assumption. Your inspired action becomes the natural, effortless movement of a universe that is rearranging itself to conform to your inner state. But now we go deeper. This powerful state you cultivate doesn't just influence your own actions. It's a broadcast that attracts other aligned energies. No great fortune, no monumental achievement in the history of this world was ever built by a single mind. This is the secret of the master mind. When two or more minds come together in a spirit of perfect harmony for the attainment of a definite purpose, a third, invisible, intangible force is created. This third mind is a psychic powerhouse. It is the sum of the participants' energies, yes, but it becomes something far greater, something akin to a direct line to a higher consciousness. Your individual power, potent as it is amplified exponentially. This is not mere collaboration. This is a spiritual alliance, a merging of operant powers. The key to the mastermind is harmony. Any friction, any ego, any disharmony breaks the connection. Each member must be completely aligned with the well-defined purpose, holding the vision with the same faith and intensity. When this harmony is achieved, this third mind can be tapped for insights, ideas, and plans that are far beyond the capacity of any single member. It's as if you create a vortex that draws inspiration directly from the formless. Solutions to complex problems appear as if by magic. Perfect plans unfold with effortless grace. This alliance becomes an invincible force, because it is no longer just your minds at work. It is your combined consciousness, supercharged and guided by a power that sees the entire path. Choosing your mastermind partners is one of the most critical selections you will ever make. Choose based on character, faith, and harmony, not just skill. You are acting with inspired grace. You have formed a powerful mastermind alliance. The path to your definite purpose is illuminated, but the journey of creation in this three-dimensional world involves tests. The old reality will not surrender without a fight. There will be moments that look like setbacks. There will be challenges that seem like walls. The uninitiated, the person operating from the old state of consciousness, would call these failures. But for you, they are something else entirely. For the one who acts as if they've already won, the concept of failure is an illusion. Now you must learn to see these moments for what they truly are: divine signposts and tests of character. This changes the game forever and separates the winners from the masses. So let us speak of this illusion called failure. It does not exist in the reality of the winner. It is a phantom, born of a limited consciousness. What you perceive as a setback is merely the universe presenting you with a new set of circumstances. That is all. The successful individual eliminates the word failure from their vocabulary entirely. They replace it with temporary defeat. Why? Because this simple shift in language rewires your entire inner world. Failure is a final judgment. It is an end. Temporary defeat is a signal. It implies a larger war that you are destined to win. It is a test of your conviction. It is the universe asking you, how badly do you want this? Have you truly assumed the state of the winner, or were you just pretending? Every time you face a challenge and call it a temporary defeat, you reaffirm your power and your unwavering faith in the unseen reality. Here is one of the deepest secrets of all creation. Within every adversity, within every temporary defeat, there is a hidden gift. There lies the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. This is not positive thinking. This is universal law. The average person, operating from a state of victimhood, focuses only on the shell of the problem. They see the broken plan, the lost investment, the closed door. The winner, the master of their own consciousness, immediately begins to look for the seed. They ask, what is this teaching me? What new path is this forcing me to see? How can I use this to become stronger, wiser, better? They know the temporary defeat is often a course correction, guiding them away from a lesser path toward a greater destiny. The obstacle is not in the way. The obstacle is the way. Your ability to find the opportunity within the challenge is a direct measure of your mastery. And what gives you the strength to look for that seed? What fuels this relentless persistence in the face of temporary defeat? It is your burning desire. This is not a mere want or a preference. An ardent desire is a thought that has become obsessive, constructive, and all-consuming. It is the very first thing you think of in the morning and the very last thing at night. It dominates your mind so completely that the possibility of giving up becomes unthinkable. It is a spiritual hunger that cannot be denied. This desire is the fuel for your imagination, making your visualizations vivid and powerful. It is the energy that drives your inspired action. When your desire burns this brightly, temporary defeats are not seen as threats. They are seen as kindling, thrown onto the fire to make it burn even hotter. Is your desire a spark or is it an inferno? Do you see how it all connects? Your well-defined purpose gives your desire a target. Your burning desire gives you the persistence to continue. Your persistence allows you to transmute every temporary defeat. And all of it is held together by the foundational assumption that you have already won. You are not persisting to try to win. You are persisting because it is the natural action of the winner. You already are in your inner world. The winner doesn't quit when the scoreboard shows a temporary loss, because they know the game is already decided. They simply continue to play their part until the external world reflects their inner victory. This is the unshakable mindset that separates the 1% from all the rest. It is a state of being, a conscious selection of reality that no temporary circumstance can ever overturn. You now hold the keys. The subconscious mind is your loyal servant. A well-defined purpose is your command. Mental fortification is your shield. Inspired action and the mastermind are your instruments. And the transmutation of temporary defeat is your proof of mastery. You understand that your inner world is the only creative power. You know that feeling is the secret, and that you already are everything you could ever desire to be. The journey is not one of becoming, but of remembering. You are not creating success. You are selecting it from the infinite possibilities that already exist within your own wonderful human imagination. The teaching is complete. The remembrance is now yours. Live from this truth. The battle is over. You are not creating your victory. You are simply remembering it. Live from that state now. So I ask you, what magnificent assumption are you ready to embody right now? Let me know in the comments below what you felt shift within you during this journey. Subscribe and activate the notifications, because your great awakening has only just begun. And if you truly felt this, do not stop here. The next video is your next revelation. Click it on the screen now and go deeper.